Because we know that we know how many...
How do you know they were not in the closet hiding, saying that we were straight, but they were actually gay?
They were in the closet because culture was pushing them in the closet. What I'm saying is the same amount of people existed, and they actually went on, a lot of them, and had kids, and then later on divorced their wives and told their kids, sorry, I was gay all along.
By the way, that wasn't my question.
I know it's not, but
my question was,
I'm getting there.
When did the atheists start to accept homosexuality, or did they always accept them?
Okay.
At what point?
I don't think it's not the atheists.
Bro, can you answer if you don't mind? With all due respect, is it okay? Is it okay one person speaks?
There is no such thing as atheism.
There is.
No, wait a second.
Really?
Wait a second.
Okay, go on.
There is no such thing as atheism, because in order to do that, because it's subjective, in order to do that, you'd have to have a text that says this is what it is. Atheists don't have that.
It's called a dictionary.
Well,
shall we?
Sure.
Shall we?
But there isn't.
Shall we look it up?
There isn't a doctrine that says that your behaviour. For example, a West Ham fan has to wear this T-shirt or blah 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 to have the attributes of a particular membership of Christianity or atheism. You have to behave like this. The only thing that makes you an atheist is if you just go, "Nah, I don't think there are any gods." That's it. Now, the morality...
Is that wrong or right? Is that definition right or wrong?
That's all atheism is.
No, exactly. But do you agree with that?
There's nothing about the morality.
Hold on. Do you agree with that definition?
I do agree with that.
Where is it written? Which book is it written? The same book called the dictionary. Am I right?
Sure.
Okay, so go back. It is written somewhere. You know what? This is what is called the cultural norm. When a culture accepts a definition of a certain ideology like atheism, you cannot say atheism doesn't exist. It surely does exist. Yes, I agree. One atheist is different from another atheist.
Yeah.
His morals, and this is what I've been telling you all along, that the atheism doesn't have a standard moral on which it can rest its case. But in case of religion, for example, in Christianity, hear me out. In Christianity, there are different sects. Each sect of Christianity has certain defined rules, which actually makes the members to be accepted or rejected in that particular sect. And the same applies to Islam. The same applies to any other religion, including Buddhism, which doesn't believe in God, but they have certain, certain characteristics, certain rules, which make them Buddhist. Exactly. So what I'm saying, do not say there is no atheists out there. There are atheists out there. And there is something called atheism. Now wait. My question based on Glenn, based on the definition which you just agreed, i.e. atheists do not believe God exists. This category of people, when did they start accepting homosexuals to be accepted as a norm in the society? Don't know. Could it be more than 100 years ago?
I would have said, given that how I think, and I would say that my lack of belief in religions has influenced how I think. So I've got to assume that my way of thinking, the Bertrand Russell type of thinking, the way that he deals with logic and the way that he thinks about things is very similar.
By the way, my question wasn't to you personally. I'm talking about atheists as a group. When do you think the atheists, for example, there were 100 years ago, there were atheists in this country. Do you agree? At that time, I'm sure they consider those homosexuals to be put to death or to be ostracized from the society.
I was answering that question.
Yeah, go on. I apologize for interrupting.
I'm sorry that I don't give one-word answers or one-sentence answers. I apologize if that's just a fault in my personal...
No, all I want is a straight answer. No beating around the bush.
I know.
Okay, good.
But that's very... What's the word? Intolerant of you. I would stand there and listen, and someone's got something to. We need to be tolerant to listen. Just because people are different.
I was listening until you go to the wrong. If you go to the wrong tangent, I interrupt you.
Be tolerant of them and let them be what the hell they want to be.
I will let you be if you do not go to different tangents.
Of me that I've got a specific way of speaking which doesn't do things in one word or one sentence.
I don't expect you to answer in one word or sentence.
You do because
I don't want you to go around different tangents when I ask you a specific question.
Which is the one word measure.
No, I ask you a specific question. For example, I ask you about father and son. You keep going to mother and son.
Yeah,
you do that all the time. Why? Why do you beat around the bush when I ask you a specific question?
Because I think you can measure it from that.
No, you can't.
Because I think you can measure it not from the sex of the people. You can measure it of the action of sibling, child, offspring, and parent. So when I see a mother and a son having sex and producing crippled kids, which will produce a crippled society, right? Which will lead to our demise.
Not really. Not really. You know, people thought the same thing about homosexuals. Yes, that if they go and basically commit their their sin that they're doing, yes, we'll have HIV, we'll have all these diseases in the world. You know, these were atheists, including at that time, who would think like this. And what happened today? Everyone accepts it.
HIV you can take from the woman is serious.
You didn't understand the idea I was trying to get
I think
at.
that you can take from it parent and offspring. Therefore, it doesn't matter that it's mother or son or mother or father.
But remember I told you about the contraception and you did not address that. I said mother and son with contraception, is that okay? And you still wouldn't budge.
But I will budge.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You were consistently saying, what if they're bad offspring? What if they're bad
Even
offspring?
though I responded to you, and even though I'm going to give you the same answer now, you're still interrupting.
You know why? Because you always say, what if they have bad offsprings?
I don't find this conversation enjoyable in any way, shape or form.
If you are being consistent in your answers, it would be very, very clear to both of us.
But unfortunately, I might not be able to do it in one word or one sentence.
I didn't expect you to do it in one word or one sentence. All I'm saying is that if the mother and son have contraception, where does the question of siblings come from? Sorry, where does the question of their children come from?
How do you charge if you see the man and father and son having sex? How do you charge them?
I think they're wrong. Immoral.
Okay, it's wrong.
What do you think there is? What do you think? What do you think?
How do you charge?
Okay, anyway.
How they affect you?
Don't answer the question.
Are you going to answer my question?
No.
Would you sleep with your mom or your dad? Would you?
I'm asking you first. Can I ask you one question? Listen, let me see.
I don't think you're making sense. Anyway, so going back to you, what I'm saying is this. If I have already told you very clearly that there is no intention for this mother, yes, to have children with her son, yes, then what would be the problem for you?
Let's take, for example, again, like I said, to take it from nature. Let's say, for example, you're saying that you have to do it on the mother, as the female, and the son as a son, because
with contraception. With contraception, very important.
I know, but I'm going to explain why, even with contraception, it's wrong.
Yes, please do. Go on.
Okay. And why? But
now I want to interrupt if you're going to answer that.
I've tried to do this several times.
No, you always went to a wrong tangent.
No.
Every time I asked you, you said they will have crippled children. Every time you said that.
I took the tangent that I wasn't going down. I was just making a point, and you didn't like.
Okay, I'm going to keep quiet. You do not divert from the question I asked you, which is, what if the mother and the son, if they have no intention of procreating, if they're using contraception, and there is no question of crippled children?
Here we are.
Go on.
So, I'm trying to answer specifically what you're getting at, which is how can you not define it to the female as the mother and the son, or even a lesbian mother and daughter?
Yeah.
The mother becomes
That's
a
fine,
lesbian,
that's fine, yeah.
Right? I'm trying to answer that question.
Go on.
And I don't know if it will mean this to you or not, or you'll be happy with my answer.
Go on, I'm waiting for your answer. I want to interrupt you. Go on.
I said to take it from nature. So give an example, right? Let's say, for example, if we knew, you know how birds and bees take nuts, they move nuts around, they move seeds around, they poop seeds out, and they plant new trees, they plant new bushes by flying seeds from over there in their poop to another part of the world. You realise this, right?
Yeah, carry on.
Let's say, for example, we knew that putting a particular seed in this particular dirt, right, which is why bees don't do it, it won't grow. It won't grow into this bush that they want to create their colony in, right? Therefore, it doesn't matter who does it, whether it's a bee doing it, whether a human tries to plant that seed there, we know it's not going to lead to anything. So it's not about the sex or who's doing it, it's the fact that action itself, that seed being put in that mud will not grow the bush that those bees need to have a beehive. Are you following now?
So carry on.
So it's the action itself, it's not who's doing it, because whether a bee does it or whether a human does it or whether a cow does it, it's still not going to work.
What's not going to work? What's not going to work?
It's the wrong thing to do.
You're going back to procreating, isn't it? Isn't it? See, Glenn, this is the problem with you. Every time I've given you a chance, you always go back to procreating. Why? Why do you do this consistently, and then you say, I'm the one not giving you a chance? Seriously. It doesn't. When you have no intention, wait a minute, when you have no intention of procreating, when you have using contraception, you always, Glenn, go back to procreating. Because you know why? You know why? Because that is the only valid point you have, unfortunately. And because I broke that point, you have no other way to go but procreating. Procreating every time. Why? Why can't you accept the fact that these two people, why can't you accept yeah, because homosexuality, he's got a good point. Homosexuality doesn't produce any offspring. It doesn't produce, so what is the point? You agree with that?
Against nature, it's against nature. Homosexuality is
I think you're talking about something different.
No, he's talking about the same thing.
You just come out.
He's got a good point actually. I agree with it.
I'm not using homosexuality. Yeah, you
Glenn, you really have to realize that there's something called, every time you have sex is not for procreation. I think most of the time it is for pleasure.
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
So it's
Yes.
against nature.
So what is wrong with a mother and son having
By
pleasure,
using
or a
nature.
father and son having pleasure? What is wrong with that? If the homosexuals are okay for them to have pleasure, or the lesbians for them to have pleasure, yes, why don't you say that is against nature?
Yes.
But the incest is, sorry, why don't you say that is also against
It's not
nature?
production.
Why do you have a problem with bringing procreation side of it into the argument?
No, I don't have a problem with that. I'm saying the problem I have is that your principle, it's against your principle. Your principle is that if two consenting adults do not hurt each other, it is moral. These are your words. It is on camera if you don't believe me.
Yes, but if you press the stop button there, but if you look at the whole context of what I'm saying, is that I don't think that it's about the mother and the son, it's about the action of siblings having sex, or the action of the mother and the father, or of the son and the mother having sex. The action itself
Is what? The action is what?
will lead to bad consequences.
Which is?
So it's all about,
Which is?
it's all about the
Sorry,
bad
which is what?
consequence.
What is that bad consequence?
Procreation of
There you go again. You can't help it, can you, Glenn?
my friend.
You know, and then you say I didn't give you a chance to speak.
No.
You know, that is so,
You don't realize
honestly,
what
that is
you're
so disingenuous of you that you do not even realize it.
You don't realize
I'm
what
sorry
you're
to say
doing.
this.
Bees, nature, they don't produce. Even you put a seed, they don't produce nothing, and that is against nature. That is the same standard you have to use when you're using homosexuality. To you now,
now I understand. That's not what I was saying.
what you are saying
If
then?
my words have led you to that,
What you are
that
saying?
understanding, that is not what I'm saying.
No, what he's saying is that homosexuality is
Against
mainly,
nature.
there's mainly lust involved in there. It is mainly for pleasure, not for procreation.
What I was trying to show is whether a bee.
Okay,
Wait a second.
ask him a different now.
What I was trying to show is whether a bee does it or a human does it. The doing of that thing that might grow a particular bush that wipes out an entire other nature reserve. That's wrong.
That's wrong.
Whether it's a human doing it or bee doing it. Therefore,
So it's not nature.
Therefore, it's the action. Therefore, it's not male or female or mother and son. It's the action itself. If the action can create that problem, then that shows that parents. It shows parents having sex is wrong.
Glenn, if I told you the problem is eliminated, what is the problem with? What is the contention then?
It's the action.
So the action is immoral. Is that what you're saying? Using that principle, homosexuality would be moral.
Why?
Because homosexuality, again, there is nothing to procreate.
It's against nature.
It is just pleasure.
Biologically, but not
But you've
socially.
misunderstood me. I'm not saying that the sexual act should produce kids.
Homosexuality.
That is exactly what you've been. That's what you've been saying all along. That is your main contention.
No.
Oh my God. Okay, so what is your main contention?
Now I
If not
understand.
children, what is your main contention?
Now we can talk properly because we're on the same page.
I hope so.
Now I understand why you said something a minute ago. People have sex more often than not.
You can
for
do
pleasure.
whatever you like.
So now I can see what you're
I've
getting
been
at.
saying this all along. I don't know why you didn't understand it.
I didn't put two and two together. I think.
Okay, so tell me, what is your contention
I
then?
don't think I've spoken in a way to lead you down that path. I think you've stuck on that path.
No, I'm not. I've been consistent in my approach that if there was if two consenting adults have no intention of producing children and it's mainly for pleasure, I've been telling this all along. I don't know why you didn't understand it.
But my argument,
Guys, let's have one discussion here because it's just confusing.
My
Thank you.
argument isn't about its consenting pleasure. My argument was that it's not just the case of consenting pleasure, it can create other problems as well, right?
You're going back to procreation.
I'm going to procreation. Why
This guy
can I not?
this guy doesn't understand, honestly.
Why can I not?
Anyway, thanks, Glenn. Looks like you're going in circles. You don't want to shake my hand? No problem. Alhamdulillah. You know, this is the problem with atheists. They are not consistent in their approach. Yes, when they go down this rabbit hole, they get stuck. And now, all of a sudden, he doesn't even want to shake my hand. He's so angry.
Because my
Anyway,
argument,
Glenn, you had your turn.
I was angry. I'm not
Now,
angry anymore.
why you didn't shake my hand?
these Muslims are-
Why did you shake my hand?
I'm sorry, my friend. I'm sorry.
All right. Anyway,
I've calmed down. Your point is that I'm trying to say that sex is okay for pleasure or consent. That's your point.
no, that's not my point.
Not what I'm trying
You
to
missed
say.
it completely again. I said if two consenting adults, if they had sex, regardless of their gender, regardless of their relationship, yes, with their offspring, then what is the problem as long as they have no intention of procreating? Because you keep saying the problem is they will create children who are disabled. You know what? Let's say we have some scientific advancement.
Forget
Yes.
biology,
Wait. We have some scientific advancement in the future where they will eliminate this problem of having handicapped children. Would that be acceptable then?
If people wanted to consent to having
Yes.
sex, then
Would that be okay?
Yeah.
So you'll agree with people sleeping with their mothers then?
Yes.
There you go.
If it causes no problem.
There you go.
If it causes no problem.
Yes. So that's what I've been telling you all along. The atheists do not have a standard. They change the standards as what is in vogue, culturally acceptable.